Hello and welcome to my first ever, not first ever, but it's been like I don't even know how long since the last time I streamed on YouTube. It was like 2019, I think. I didn't want to make that all the way quiet, just a little quiet. Anyway, yeah, so we're trying streaming on YouTube today. Don't really know how it's gonna go, but we're gonna give it a shot. And I wanted to try this over Twitch because we've been on Twitch for a while. Twitch has kind of been going downhill. I am eating some yogurt. If you guys want like a good yogurt, high in protein, low in calories, get the Oikos yogurt, the 000 one. It's amazing, right? Because it has only 90 calories, 15 grams of protein. It's really good. Let's get some background music going. I just want I'm in a huge Persona mood right now, you guys. Persona 3 Reload is coming out. And yeah, here we go. Just have Beneath the Mask looped here. I think I could turn it up just a little bit. There we go. NSP is jacked. I'm trying to get there, man. I'm trying to get there. I've been working out off and on throughout my whole life. So, not my whole life. Maybe since I was 18 or 19. Catnaps, hello. I'm so Persona brain / Persona pilled right now. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm hardcore Persona pilled right now. I have P3 wallpaper, P3 phone, lock screen. I'm Persona pilled as fuck. I hope you guys don't mind me eating this. I just don't want to mind. I just don't want to get hungry during the actual state of play. Because we need our energy today. You should charge people to touch your muscles at meet and greets. Yeah. If I get to the, I'm doing pretty good. This is the most proud I've ever been in my body for sure. Now, one thing about this new camera I got, so on occasion, it'll freeze. I've only had that happen twice, but all I have to do is redo it. So if it freezes and just let me know to toggle it and then it'll come back. It's apparently a really common thing to happen with Elgato face cams. Thank you, by the way, for everyone who donated, because we got an Elgato 1080p 60. Look at that. 60 fucking frames, boys. We're in this. So in terms of what to expect today, we are looking at Stellar Blade. We are looking at Rise of Ronin. Those things are confirmed. And it's supposed to be a 40-minute presentation. Death Stranding 2 is also confirmed. So we're looking at a lot of confirmed stuff. We know that those three are going to be there. But I'm 90% sure that Rebirth is going to be here as well. I don't think I have much of a doubt on whether Rebirth is going to be here. I think we're really close to launch. And I think we're so close to launch, in fact, that we're going to get that big launch trailer that spoils the entire indie. You know, nothing says being a Square Enix fan having the entire game spoiled for you because you watched it on you watched all the trailers, right? And you kept up with all the marketing. I remember, too, especially with Final Fantasy 13 too, is when I really started to notice that trend in Square Enix marketing, where I was holy shit. I was I already know the whole game now. I already know the whole game. I'm happy to see so many of you that normally are on Twitch with me are here on YouTube, Lift T, Bon the Don, Vincent Graymore. Thank you guys so much for also coming over here to YouTube with me. Appreciate you guys. I wish that YouTube streaming AI looked a little bit more like Twitch's, right? Because I feel like Twitch's user interface for streaming, it's just so perfect, right? It's what I want, right? I don't know how to explain it. The way the big screen, The big ass chat on the side. YouTube's is too small. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. That's how I feel. A demo would be too... If a demo is going to happen, I'd imagine it happening here. I don't know. It's really interesting, right? You'd also think, too, that Final Fantasy 16 got its own state of play. I don't know if that's going to happen with Rebirth or not, but we'll see. I thought Rebirth would have also had like a launch party too, but they haven't announced that either, so I don't know. I loved Final Fantasy 16 launch party, that's for sure. That was amazing. That was still, again, one of the highlights of my life. Like all your guys' chats on my screen, your usernames are different colors, just like Twitch. Yeah, yeah. On YouTube, it all comes in on one color. Oh, there's a plugin that does that. Oh, that's awesome. See? Yeah, like that needs to be like a thing, right? Because that makes keeping track of chat like so hard. YouTube's got a way to go, but I think it's cool. I could definitely see myself streaming on here more frequently. YouTube only today? Yeah. Because we're doing a little experiment with YouTube versus Twitch. And I want to see what happens. It's called Truffle. Okay. I'm going to check that out then. Because I would like to stream on here more often. YouTube is more watcher friendly and pause and back in time without being on live. Yeah, exactly. And another thing too is that I feel like ad-wise, it's also way easier to watch, right? Because if you guys have premium, I'm pretty sure you don't even have to... What the fuck? Blitz? Blitz, what the fuck? Blitz? What? What are you doing, Blitz? Blitz? Yo, what? Jesus, man. Okay. My man, you didn't have to do all that. Oh my god, dude. You guys, welcome to YouTube. Dude, that's my boy right there, you guys. If you guys aren't subscribed to Blitz, please make sure to go hit that sub button, man. Blitz has been my boy for like, I think me and Blitz have been friends for like 4 years now. Because I think we started talking in like 2020. And I chat with that motherfucker every day. He's awesome. Probably one of my best friends. Not even probably, definitely one of my best friends in like this whole community of content creators. Dude is amazing. Thank you so much, bro. He's the best. He is the best. I hope I don't have any yogurt on my lips. Does this not start until 5 p.m. Eastern? Yes, we're just doing a little pre-show. I'll make myself a little bit bigger here. I don't like to take up the whole screen. I always feel weird whenever I take up. 4 years just flew by, man. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Dude, it's hard to believe that Remake came out 4 years ago. Like, holy shit. That's crazy. I still feel like Remake was like yesterday. Somehow, like, isn't that just so crazy? Like, God. I don't know. Like, man. What time Central does the show start? If you're going by Central Time, it'll be 4. Remake was 4 years ago. I mean, technically, it was 3 years and 10 months, I believe, right? Because Remake launched in April 10th, and Rebirth is launching February. So yeah, technically, yeah. 3 years and 10 months. That's ridiculous. Now, here's the thing, right? We got part 3. Now, is part 3 gonna be that crazy? I don't know, man. Like, is part 3 gonna be that? I got a feeling. I don't know. Like, will part 3 be like a shorter wait? Right? I don't know. The only reason I pose that as like a maybe thing. Sorry, I keep tapping the mic. The only reason I pose that as a maybe thing is because they have so many assets from part 1 and 2 now that have already been made, and all the main character models are done, and they don't have to upgrade the graphics like they did for Rebirth to Remake. Almost all the assets are done by now, right? Yeah, I feel like they could probably shave a year without yeah, and then there's like no pandemic that they had to worry about, you know, or at least not actively, you know, with remote work and masking and all the inconveniences that had to be done to accommodate during COVID. So you would think that might make part 3 a little shorter. And they decide to keep part 3 open world. That's another thing too. Have you heard about the Kitase interview where he said that FF6 Remake would need 20 years? I have. And I think he's right too. FF6 Remake would probably need about 20 years. If they were going to do it at the same scale that they did Final Fantasy VII Remake, yeah, it probably would, right? Because think about it. They have to create even more. And it's also harder too, right? Because the older you go back, the harder it is to present those ideas with modern visuals, right? Because they were able to use like a lot of abstractions and get away with a lot of stuff. It's why remaking something like Resident Evil 4 is a lot easier than remaking something like Final Fantasy VII, right? Or maybe a more apt comparison would be remaking Resident Evil 4 is probably a lot easier than remaking Resident Evil 2. Right? The further you get away from modern technology, when they had to be more creative and they had to use more abstractions, the more difficult it is to reimagine that stuff and to put it all together and to figure a lot of that stuff out. And also too, you know, if you start making that stuff at 1-to-1 scale, like we expect at modern games, then you start getting like, dude, like tremendous amount of work, right? It's what's making FF7R take so long, because, you know, they're making all of that at 1-to-1 scale. So, show is gonna start in about an hour and 40-ish minutes or something like that. 48 minutes. So we're just hanging out. We're eating yogurt. Talking about training regiments. A lot of people were very, like, I don't want to say purist, but a lot of people kind of preferred OG RE2 because they liked the tank controls and they liked all other stuff. So you're saying a Legend of Dragoon remake is possible then? I think it is. I think a remake of anything and everything is possible, like straight up, because companies are basically going back through their entire library right now and they're like, what can we remake? They are digging up everything that they possibly can. So I don't think a remake of any game is like completely off the table. So how are you feeling about Persona 3 Reload? Pre-downloading are now... Yeah, I saw that preloading is now available for Steam, which is crazy. You can Persona 3 preload your game, which is awesome, right? To answer your question though, how I'm feeling about Persona 3 Reload, I'm fucking on cloud 9 about it. I'm so pumped. I could not be more pumped about Reload right now. I've been kind of hungry for Persona again, and it got to a point where I almost wanted to replay P5. Like, that's how bad like my Persona fever was, but I'm glad I didn't do that, because P5 is like the ultimate commitment. Like, it's the ultimate commitment, dude. It's 120 hours. That's if you don't, like, you know, completely max out everything, which would probably take you closer to 140. It's a long ass game. It is by far the longest game I've probably ever played in like a single playthrough. It is long. It's a long game. I'm glad I kind of discovered Persona during the pandemic, which is when I went and binged like Persona games, but like, I'm so fucking glad that I did, that I discovered it right then at that point. It was like the best point to discover Persona ever. Like, I feel like the stars lined up for me to get into Persona, because realistically, I feel like I would have never have been able to get into the series had the pandemic not happened and I was like shut inside, right? Never played a Persona game? My God, man, you got to. You got to. Probably my favorite JRPG series next to FF, actually. I just feel like there's something about the gameplay loop, the style, the characters, the music. It's so good. It's so good, man. The first time you play, you lose your entire life to it. I'm currently replaying 7R, and I'm scared that I won't finish in time for reload. Chapter 16 now. If you're on chapter 16, oh no, you're in Hojo's lab. You'll need at least 4 weeks. You'll need at least 4 weeks to finish Hojo's lab. Sorry, man, you won't finish in time. You'll have to stop the playthrough. Yeah. I don't like the social life of... Yeah, a lot of people don't like the social aspects, and if you don't like the social aspects, then mainline SMT is probably more for you. But I'm actually someone who loves the social aspects. I love the pop music. I love all that stuff about it. Like, that's the thing that makes it. I do like SMT, though. But the things about Persona that maybe like a person who prefers mainline SMT, I do. Not streaming on Twitch? No, we're trying YouTube today. We're trying the tube. We're trying the tube. Just to see how things go. I want to see... Because again, I've only done this once since 2019. And, you know, I do have this big 93,000 subscriber channel. So I figure, what would happen, you know, if I streamed here? What happened to Dragon Quest 13? I think they gotta finish 12 first. Unless you mean 12. Do you mean 12? If you mean 12, they announced 12 like way too early, man. Like Dragon Quest 12, Dragon Quest 12, they were like, yeah, it's coming. All we have is a logo. It's gonna be an Unreal Engine 5 game. We don't know anything else, and that's it. Ultimate Weapon, hello. You mean 12? Yeah, okay. Yeah, like 12 was announced too early. Like, I think Dragon Quest 12 is like a 2027, 2028 game. Probably closer to 2028. I think that's a 2028 game. That's how far away I think Dragon Quest 12 is. I think it's really far. And I think Dragon Quest 12 is Switch 2 and PS5. Like, that's my call. For like, Switch and Steam, of course. What happened to Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D? That's a great question. It evaporated. That's what happened. I tried playing Dragon Quest 11, but I didn't like how simple it is and not very much magic or abilities in the game. I did think that like I wish it was like a little bit snappier. Like it's one thing I like about like Persona is that like I feel like it's quick, right? I feel like you get in and out of battle so fast, and all the animations are so snappy. And then also too, there's a really addictive flow to battle, like when you're working your way up to your all-out attack. And then you have like the demon fusion stuff. We really need AAA games to stop with these years-long hype cycles, finish the game, spend 90 days tops hyping it up before you put it on sale. I understand. The reason that it happens, though, is mostly because of shareholders. You can always kind of like pump your stock, basically, your stock prices by announcing the game. That's why they do it. And then also, too, a lot of times they announce the game early, so that they can go ahead and begin hiring for the game, right? Without leaks. That's another big reason that I've heard from developers on why they announce a game so early. So, and that way too, that they can attract the best talent, right? Like, if Square Enix openly said, yeah, we're making Final Fantasy VIII Remake, I'm just being arbitrary here, we're making Final Fantasy VIII Remake or something like that, and they wanted to attract the best talent, they can literally just say, hey, do you want to work on Final Fantasy VIII Remake, right? You can get the best talent in the industry a lot of times applying to your jobs by knowing that you're working on something that ambitious that will contribute also to them and their resume. And yeah, it's easier to hire after a game has been announced. So that's one of the reasons that they announce games early. Two of the reasons: stocks and hiring. Now I'm kind of afraid that P3 Reload might pull a remake thing, where because how Elizabeth as a Velvet attendant, she might do some time travel shit. I haven't heard anything about it being like that. But here's the thing though, right? And I'm gonna make a video on this later. We do know that DLC is coming for Reload. Midori, the famous Atlas Leaguer account, they kind of dropped that today. So DLC's coming. Who knows? I mean, the answer is supposed to be a DLC, and then she says that some other expansions are planned for the game. So I feel like if they're gonna do like some Final Fantasy VII Remake type stuff, it would be in the DLC, right? Especially the final DLC. That's where you might get some kind of like retcon ending or something else like that. Who knows? It's hard to say. I'm just glad that they're doing DLC. At least that's according to the rumor. What should we be on the lookout for at the State of Play? Stellar Blade, which is hard confirmed to be here. It is not a rumor. It is not a myth. Stellar Blade is hard confirmed to be shown today. So that's huge. That's like the most important thing. Far as everything else goes, your guess is as good as mine, partner. But Rise of Ronin is also going to be here. Death Stranding 2 is going to be here. They said something like what was it? How'd they phrase it? A legendary game designer or something is going to be present at the State of Play. Is going to be in the State of Play. And I'm like, every time someone says something like that, it just means Hideo Kojima. Like, it's literally just code for Hideo Kojima. Like, they're always like legendary game designer. Like, it always means Kojima. Like, in fact, even when people say that out of context, I still assume that they mean Kojima. So, yeah, that's that's definitely happening. I'm super excited. I'm probably the most excited for this state of play that I've ever been for any state of play for a really long time. Like a really long time. Because I think that this state of play is going to actually have content and substance to it in a way that many state of plays have not had in a really long time. And that's not to knock on, you know, state of play necessarily, because I do think that it is hard. I mean, you can only show what the developers have ready, right? But a lot of times there's a lot of state of plays that do have the this could have been an email type vibe. Are you wearing contact lenses? Yes. I was checking out Kojima merch on his website. Has some pretty out there sunglasses. Really? He sells sunglasses? I hope DS2 will not be delivered, but a proper sci-fi stealth game. That'd be cool. People really want, like, Metal Gear. What's your most wanted announcement other than anything Final Fantasy related? Stellar Blade, which we know is going to be here. We know is going to be here. So, excited. Actually, I have my FF3 shirt on today. So, I want FF3 4K remake is what I want. Bloodborne remaster PC port copium, yeah, for sure. That would be great. I don't know. I don't understand what's going on with Sony and why that hasn't happened yet, right? Like, it feels almost tone deaf from Sony to, like, do The Last of Us Part 2 remastered and not Bloodborne, right? It feels utterly tone deaf. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's so dumb. Hylian, hello. Like, I just don't understand. Like, you got all that money, and you're just like, we can either remaster The Last of Us Part 2, or we could remaster Bloodborne. Okay, let's do The Last of Us Part 2, which everyone has been clamoring for. Instead of FF3, they could remake Shadowbringers. You know what? Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that if they not remade, but if they had taken many of the concepts and ideas for Shadowbringers and had made that into like a mainline single player game, that shit would have blew up. Not that I'm saying they should have took that away from 14, obviously, but I'm just saying that, like, if that had been like, if they had rewrote that so that it was a standalone title, it would have went insane. Princess Layla, hello, how you doing? I want info on FF9 Remake. It's been too quiet. No info on FF9 Remake until after Rebirth. Right? So FF9 Remake is going to be like it's going to be like the transitional title between Rebirth and the third 7 Remake game, right? Because they need something between those 3 years in order to fill the gap. And I think FF9 Remake and Tactics Remaster is going to be it. But, and don't get me wrong, because I do look forward to all that stuff greatly, but it does also kind of suck at the same time too, because I'm like, Dang, dog. That is years of nothing but remake back to back to back. Like, no original games. I don't know. Maybe there is some type of original stuff like in development, but Jamal, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It is Tifa FF7 Remake going to be in Tekken 8 DLC rumors truth? Just wanted to know. So maybe. Maybe. Harada has commented on it, and he's very interested in having Tifa be in Tekken. And I think Tifa is like the perfect character to put into Tekken. I think that putting anyone else in Tekken wouldn't make as much sense as her. You know, for 7 they did Noctis, and I just thought that Noctis, it would have made more sense for Noctis to have been in like Soul Calibur. Yeah, Harada didn't say no, right? It would have made more sense for Noctis to have been in something like Soul Calibur, right? And sword users. I feel like Tifa should be in 8. Song is Beneath the Mask from Persona 5. Remake itis is plaguing the industry. Can you imagine Square investing that energy on new FFs? Right. Yeah, and honestly, I mean, that's kind of the things too. It does feel like, you know, I want Square to be investing in like that in new FFs, right? I mean, look at Rebirth, for example, right? We're going back to the open world. We got dozens of mini games. We got all this stuff and all this content in Rebirth, and then again, it's not to like shame Final Fantasy 16, but it does make me like, it does make me go like, why didn't 16 like get some of that treatment, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it does kind of feel like budget wise that Rebirth is probably getting a bigger budget, and it is kind of confusing to me, but or it may not be. It may not actually be the case that Rebirth is getting a bigger budget. You know why? It might just be the case that all of 16's money just went to those icon fights because they were ridiculously expensive too. So I don't know. Holy shit, Midnight Sapphire. Holy shit, thank you so much for the 10 gift subs. Let's go. Also, Midnight Sapphire, thank you for thanks again for donating toward our goal for the camera. We got the camera. As you can see, I'm here, 1080p, 60 frames per second. I'm no longer a fuzzy little blip. I'm a 1080p big beast. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for the memberships. Appreciate you so much. You are the best. The best. This is what gets me excited for Metaphor Refantazio, finally a new IP. So that's why if you guys watched my top 10 most anticipated RPGs of 2024 video, I actually put Metaphor above Persona 3 Reload. And the reason I did that is because, to be honest, Metaphor is a new game. And when it comes down to it, I was like, what do I most want to see? It's a new game. And what's so exciting about Metaphor, guys, this is a brand new IP. This is a brand new IP that the Persona team is making, people who worked on 3, 4, and 5. What makes this shit so hype for me is that Atlas could have made more Persona. Atlas could have easily made more Persona. You'll always be our fuzzy little blip, right? Thank you so much. They could have just said, okay, this is Persona. We got Persona 3 Reload. We got we're gonna make the Metaphor team do Persona 4 remake, or we're gonna make them do like Persona 6, and then we're gonna have like the new Persona team that's working on Persona 6, and they're gonna do Persona 7. Right? They could have just milked more Persona if they wanted to, but Atlas said, nah, dude, we're gonna put out a new IP. They could have put out a new SMT, they could have done anything. But they're doing a new IP, which is awesome. And they're using a lot of the Persona formula in that new IP, but they're also creating something brand new with it as well. So Metaphor is also the P3 through P5 team, which if you like their stuff, this is motive enough to get excited. They confirmed Atlas is having a different team do 6. Yeah, that's another thing that I like too, right? It would have been really easy to it'd have been really easy to force the Persona team to stay with Persona, right? Like, you guys are going to be making Persona for the rest of your careers. They could have done that. You're not going anywhere. You know, it's kind of like, you know, what Konami had going on with Kojima, right? Like, Kojima kind of many times expressed like, I kind of want to work on new stuff. And, you know, Konami would be like, we kind of need you to make some more fucking Metal Gear, actually. Right? So Kojima really didn't get, like, you know, his own creative freedom there. And so I think it's really awesome that that these developers are going to get a chance to make something new, rather than, you know, being a slave to Persona for forever and then saying, hey, you know, we got young people in the company, we're going to let them handle Persona 6. I think that's great. I love that. I love that they're doing that. Because one thing with, you know, I think Yoshi P actually said exactly what I'm thinking about Final Fantasy 17, where Yoshi P said that actually we should have some young guys come in and make FF17 who aren't attached to the old guard and who aren't, you know, Final Fantasy creators that everyone already knows, basically. He's saying that we kind of need to have new people coming in. And I really agree with that, right? Because we've been having, you know, it's kind of been CBU 1 guys, CBU 3 guys going back and forth for a really long time. You know, basically, you know, Final Fantasy kind of started with like Final Fantasy 9, which is where most of the modern, actually really started with Tactics, which is where the foundations of the CBU 3 teams was kind of established, right? So they've been going back and forth, a lot of the same guys working on Final Fantasy for so long. Yeah, exactly. I do think it's actually time for a new generation to work on FF. And that's not to say that, like, you know, CBU 1 and 3 can't continue to make FF games, but I do kind of want to see, like, what people who grew up playing Final Fantasy would make. And I don't mean like... I don't mean like, because a lot of times too, there are people on the current games that have grew up with it, but they like grew up with it and then they started making it a couple of games later, right? Like, I want people who grew up with like Final Fantasy like 10 or something. I want younger staff, and I want to see what they do. CBU3 also has ties to Chrono Cross as well, right? So CBU3 is actually a lot older than a lot of people think it is. They go way back further than just Final Fantasy 14, and even older than Final Fantasy 12. Ivalice was basically the beginning formation of what CBU3 is as like a studio, so. I want FF17 to be a space opera. I understand. But I don't know. Because I feel like space operas are like too hard to make in AAA graphics. I feel like when you make like a space opera, like you have to make a lot of stuff, a lot of assets, and a lot of content. And I feel like when you do, it's just really difficult, right? And there's not too many that have gotten it right outside of like Mass Effect. And maybe like Star Ocean 2. But even then, you know, it's kind of like, but you could easily end up with like a Starfield, so. I kind of would like rather like a dense content game. What are you most excited about today's presentation? Stellar Blade. With Rebirth, I already kind of know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Rebirth is gonna like show off like the last 20 minutes of the game. They're gonna show the ending. Yeah, like, yeah, we know. Stellar Blade's gonna be new though, so I'm kind of more into that. So that's kind of like my big focus. Rise of the Ronin also gonna be really cool. I'd love to see Final Fantasy 17 refine one of the 2 combat systems so we can have something similar to that era of PS1 games, again containing the similar battle systems that they were able to build off of. Yeah, exactly. That's been like such a big problem for them, I feel like, is that they don't have anything that can really be reused, right? Let's switch to like P4 now. I'm 100% sure the next FF will be trend chasing again. They'll try to emulate an FF style Breath of the Wild type game. Look, okay. Maybe this is a hot take. I don't even think the problem is them trend chasing. I think the issue is that they're not putting out the thing as good as the trend, right? Like if Final Fantasy 16 was actually as good as God of War, which is one of the key inspirations for it. Which I'm sorry, I like God of War more. I'm sorry. I don't know if that'll offend some people. I do like God of War more. If it was as good as God of War, I don't think it would have been a big deal. Like I don't think anyone would have cared. It just would have been like, you know, Final Fantasy is like God of War now, right? And if the story got as much attention as Game of Thrones, like the inspiration that they set out to do, or if it was comparable, like in quality and stuff like that, then I don't think anyone would have cared. So it's one thing for them to trend chase, but I feel like if they were actually creating something comparable to the trend, no one would have cared. I don't know if that's a hot take, but that's what I think is the case. I just think that they need to fundamentally change their approach to developing stuff. The problem I see with trend chasing is that you are, by premise, abandoning a consistent identity in favor of trying to be a cool new thing. I think FF needs consistency. I do agree. I do agree that it does need to be consistent, like above all else. And obviously, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah. But I do think that, like, on top of the consistency, whether they trend chase or not, they also just need to make something that is revered as like some of like the top AAA games and reviews as well as them, and stands next to them as well. Because I really do like 16. I know a lot of people think I'm a big hater of 16. I like 16. But if you ask me, do I think I can put it on par with like the top AAA RPGs, or even some of the top JRPGs of recent years? I don't think I can from from a personal enjoyment standpoint. I think it was a little bit more flawed than what I was hoping for. Yeah. Thank you so much for the super chat. Am I saying this right? Ella Tradlad, thank you so much. FF17 with combat system like Infinite Wealth? Yes. That'd be cool. That'd be cool as hell. That'd be great. I'd love it, personally. I mean, what Square Enix game goes toe-to-toe with BG3? I don't think there's too many games that, in fairness, go toe-to-toe with BG3. I don't know if BG3 is a fair comparison for anyone right now. In fact, I don't know if comparing anything else to BG3 will be fair for like 10 years. Because that's how far ahead I think BG3 is from the rest of the industry. And I think that people will literally need time to adapt to what BG3 is. True, they need to be seen as the best of the thing they aim for, but how can they be when they always are chasing trends? I mean, I understand what you're saying. Bushin Ryocat, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. I agree. I agree. But I'm also saying too, I guess, that I don't think like if I was to make like a reasonable critique of which I mean I have, but like if I was to make like a reasonable critique of like the modern FF games, like the trend chasing wouldn't even be the central focus of it, because even just taking those games for like the thing that they inspire it to be, they still don't really necessarily get close to what they're supposed to be either, right? Like, my hot take is that FF needs to stop trying to be the next FF7. Fans and devs alike ignore that FF7 was a phenomenon for more reasons than just the game alone, so it hangs over them like a curse. I understand why they want the next FF7. That's what they should aspire to do, right? I think they should aspire to be like the next big, huge cultural impact, the next like end all be all Final Fantasy game. I think that's actually a good thing for them to aim for. However, I think the way FF7 did that was to just be a thing, right? Like to just be the most ambitious thing that they could possibly make, right? And it kind of does go back to what the Hylian was saying about not really necessarily chin chasing, because FF7 was kind of just like this thing that no one like would have expected to exist. It just came out. And it was just radically different from anything else. Of course, FF7 had tons of inspirations too. But I just think that the way FF7 like melded them together was just so unique. It really had like its own identity too. So Stellar Blade doesn't have like a terribly large amount of information out, but right now it is a Korean action RPG that is heavily inspired by Nier Automata. And that's about it. It's kind of the first studio's big major AAA game too, so yeah. Honestly, my bet used to be that Versus 13 was going to be the new FF7 moment. Yeah. And here's the thing, right? I think it had the potential to be that new FF7 moment too. I totally do think that it had the potential. And I think that the success of Final Fantasy 15 was a testament to how much of that it had, right? But I think that a lot of the changes that were made to Versus when it became 15 and after Tabata took over, obviously a still really successful game, but I think one, they didn't give it enough time to cook. I know that's paradoxical considering the game technically had 10 years, but once they rebooted it, they had to get the ground running, and so they decided to make a finished game like no matter what. And yeah, I think that if Versus stuck to its original vision, it probably could have been that 7 moment again for Final Fantasy. So it had everything to be the big evolution that could take 7's philosophy and drive it to the kind of FF7 was laying for. I genuinely believe Nomina's vision. Right, yeah. Yeah, it was super cool too. But Refantazio, hello. I knew this would work out. Love to see. Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, going pretty good so far. Similarly, Persona 5 has outclassed FF in cultural impact with the zeitgeist of RPG culture. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, okay, so here's the thing right now, too, is that Persona kind of is going this way, right? Like, Persona 3 sold more than Persona 2. Persona 4 sold more than Persona 3. Persona 5 sold even more, a lot more than what Persona 4 sold. And actually, even Persona 2 did more than Persona 1. So it is actually, you can actually say that each Persona entry has sold more than the last, which is pretty incredible, right? That's a huge growing influence, right? Persona 1 outselling 2, 3 outselling 2. I mean, Persona 2 outselling 1, 3 outdoing 2, so on and so forth. That's huge. Greg, hello. Like, Persona has like a very linear growth to it. And one thing I can say, I know that Persona 2 duology fans might disagree with me, but I do think that you can probably say that the gameplay with the Persona games, or at least this is true of Persona 3 through 5, you can say that each one's gameplay is better than the last one too. Like story, characters, music, there's a lot of room to disagree there, right? But I think you can say that Persona 4's gameplay was better than 3's, and you can say that 5's was better than 4 and 3's. For sure, you can absolutely say that. So that's another thing too, is that it feels like, and also the scope of content too, I feel like gets better in a very linear fashion each one with Persona. I think that with Final Fantasy, it's very like, you know, here's a good one. Oh, that one's not as good. Oh, this is a great one. Oh, I don't know about this one. It's very up and down, right? So part of that is a lack of consistency too, right? Like it is cool in a lot of ways that you don't know what Final Fantasy can be, and Final Fantasy can be anything, right? And it can be anywhere, and all that stuff is really cool. But I do think that, like, from a gameplay perspective, they need to like nail down what like Final Fantasy is, and then like really explore like it from like a setting and character and music perspective, story perspective. Those are the things that people really like, right? Where the gameplay can also have like a lot of, you know, experimentation with it too, which is something that Final Fantasy fans also love. But there's like a core foundation, right? And it was always seeing like how they would completely reinterpret that core foundation in new and interesting ways. That was so cool, right? Like going from like Final Fantasy 4 to like 7 to like, let's say like 9 or 10, right? It's so cool because even though there's like a very like underlying consistency there, there's also like, okay, progression system has been completely redone. The aesthetic is completely new. The music is completely new. Even though it's all still Uematsu's completely changed up his style for this, and we changed like the art style and the visual presentation and the setting. Okay, now we're medieval, now we're steampunk, and now we're high fantasy and that type of stuff. We love that Final Fantasy like reinvents itself, but we also kind of like when Final Fantasy sticks to its core elements too. So it's kind of interesting because you have people, I feel like most people are actually kind of missing the point. Because on one hand, you have people who are arguing Final Fantasy needs to be completely and utterly traditional, go back to turn-based, do this, have an overworld map, do all these things. And you have another side that says, no, Final Fantasy can be a first-person shooter if it wants. And I don't think either really capture what actually should happen, in my opinion, because there's a whole amount of nuance between those two, in my opinion, really extreme perspectives about it staying utterly the same, utterly traditional in every way, and about it evolving. There's like a whole lot of gray in between that black and white. And, there's a lot of things that I think that they could do that hit a really healthy medium. I think the Final Fantasy VII Remake's battle system, the foundation of doing attacks and like over time you have this ATB meter that builds up. I think that should be the foundation of every Final Fantasy battle system going forward. Now people will hear that and they'll say, oh, you don't want change. You want it to stay stagnant like that. No. Actually, I think that having the ATB system like that stay at the core of the game's systems, because you can do anything with that system, right? It's flexible enough. Like, you could take Final Fantasy VII Remake's combat and add a jump button. And it becomes a fundamentally different battle system. Completely changes, right? You can do something that small and make the game completely feel different, right? So that's how you have a foundation that mostly stays the same, but then you could put anything else on top of it. You can do anything else with it. So keep that foundation and just completely rebuild everything else, right? So this is why I think when people argue, oh, they need to go completely purist, or oh, they need to go completely, they should just do whatever. Just do whatever. I think both sides of that argument are really missing the actual center. I don't know how to say your name, but thank you so much for the super chat. I'm going to try anyway. Claxton, thank you so much for the super chat. I feel FF needs to be as unique and charming as Twee-Wee, but while as being as ambitious as possible and keeping the spirit of Final Fantasy. To clarify, not copying the spirit of Twee-Wee, but the feel of the game. That's really, I love The World Ends With You. I'm a very big fan of the first one. I haven't played Neo yet, forgive me guys. But I love the first one. Yeah, I think that actually too, and I've said this before, I might get some haterade on this. I don't know. Some of you guys might agree with me, might disagree with me. I actually think that like Final Fantasy 17, I would love to see it like kind of return to stylized graphics. Not necessarily like anime game graphics, right? Like not necessarily like not necessarily cell shaded or looking like a Tales or Persona game, but like having like a unique art style that's not like the traditional established CG look of Final Fantasy. That would be cool. I literally don't know if that's a hot take or not. I think it'd be cool. Like, I don't want it to straight up look like KH3 graphics. Kinda. That would be like an example of like a style that I think would be cool. Like, not exactly like Kingdom Hearts 3, but like something like really unique. I think Kingdom Hearts has like a really unique art style. Like, I don't want it to just be like a cel-shaded game. Like, I don't want it to look like Zelda or Tales or like Persona or anything like that. But I think if they did like a unique art style, like a, not quite like an FF9, but like something crazy like an FF9, where it's like Final Fantasy doesn't normally look like this. Like, that would be so cool to me. NSP, did you ever play the Trail series? I haven't played the Trail series, but it has been on my list for a really long time. And since I'm kind of back streaming now, I kind of want to. But everyone would hate me because the game that I'm most interested in is Cold Steel, and everyone's like, you can't fucking start at Cold Steel, you have to start at Sky. I'm like, okay. But Cold Steel is the one that looks coolest to me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Kingdom Shader is cool. I think the aesthetic of Kingdom Hearts 3 and 4 are both really gorgeous games. Like, really gorgeous games. Actually, Kingdom Hearts 4's art style would be really good for a Final Fantasy. It's almost as if Kingdom Hearts 4 is a Final Fantasy. Kinda. See, you think Sky is meant as fuck and then Cold Steel's better? Everyone else is like, oh no, do Cold Steel. I mean, do Sky. And I'm like, oh. I'd rather have a game that utilizes stylized graphics that captures the classic mono art style. Seeing certain bosses in 14 only cemented that fact. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, that would be so cool, right? You'll thank everyone forcing you to start with Sky? Yeah. That's what everyone says. Ron, you can start with Cold Steel. You'll get one side of the story, but it's doable. Okay. Yeah, because I know plenty of people who started with Sky, so you can start with Cold Steel, but go back to right. I would go back. Like, here's the thing with me, right? The thing with me is that I will totally play, like, I guess for a lot of people, they'll say, oh, start with like the older title or something like that, because once you get used to the newer title's quality of life editions, you won't be able to go back to the older title. I personally find it to be the opposite. Like, it's better for me to start with the newer title and immediately understand like what the game is about in like the most enjoyable way possible. And then once I'm so hooked into the series, I can actually go without the quality of life editions because I know what the core thing I'm looking for and how much I love it, that I can deal, I can cope without it. Does that make sense? I know it's backwards. I know most people probably don't agree with that. Like, for me, like, the best place to start with almost any series ever is like the part of it that interests you the most, and then work your way backwards. Because once you're interested in the series, then you can pretty much do whatever from that point. Like, once I'm interested in the series, I don't care how jank the gameplay from the older ones was. Like, I can deal with it because I like the series, right? Hi, on the topic, I wish everyone would start using stylized graphics instead of the hyper-realistic look. It ages better, cuts down on expenses, cuts down development time, it only has upsides. Right. I think there is one downside, though. And that one downside is that realistic graphics are still incredibly marketable. And still are incredibly popular. And are probably the most popular, right? On average. I just think it's really easy to sell. It is easy to sell the cinematic movie-like graphics. People do like it. Now, that's not to say that there isn't a large market for stylized games. You know, Fortnite, Overwatch, Zelda, right? But play the ease games, not the popular ease 8, 9, or 10. Not go back to the original 2 games. I have like all the ease games actually, and I literally haven't played them. So, that's like, I am gonna do that eventually. Let me actually make sure I have the state of play pulled up, so that whenever it does go live, we'll have it. There we go. Sweet. Realism is good for normies. It is good for normies, but most people are normal by definition. So, yeah. Fortnite, Minecraft, Power World, yeah. Right. But the thing is, though, too, is that, and, you know, I hate that this is a thing, but it kind of is, where, you know, when you're marketing to that older audience, presenting realistic graphics to people who aren't as anime pilled does tend to work better, right? Claxton, thank you so much. I hope I said it right that time. You got close, my username close, by the way. Okay, good. Claxton, right? Good. Thank you so much for the super chat. I don't like realistic visuals because it also implicitly necessitates certain gameplay choices that are also realistic, so it closes doors. Right. Because I'll give you a perfect example of this, actually. It was when Hajime Tabata had said that they didn't implement double jump in Final Fantasy 15 because he felt like double jump wasn't realistic. Does this mean no more Twitch streams, by the way? No, not necessarily. This is literally an experiment. This is literally an experiment. I don't actually know what it means. I actually think... I don't know. What I'm actually thinking is that I might stream game content on here. I might still do like my discussion videos over on Twitch and turn my Twitch into like the podcast channel. I don't know. I'm not dumping the Twitch though. But I am seeing what I can do in terms of these, and I'm gonna see what the numbers look like, and I don't have a definitive answer yet. But couldn't you stream on both platforms? I can. That's also an option. So we're gonna figure that out. You need to have more playable characters and more dungeons. Yeah. Oh wait, what's that? I didn't know what that's a context for. In a game where you throw a sword and teleport to it. Yeah. So why don't you do dual stream to YouTube and Twitch then? I'm probably going to. 340 people watching and only 19 likes. Come on, where are those likes at? Yeah, hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, smack that fucking subscribe button. Just depends on the game too. RDR2 is practically a period piece and needs hyperrealism. Yeah, that's true, right? Like, I don't think like The Last of Us would benefit from being stylized, but I think Final Fantasy would be okay. Sooty Thunder, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you think the conclusion of the Final Fantasy VII Remake project to be the conclusion of the greater Final Fantasy VII compilation, ending the story in its entirety? I think it should be. I think it should be. Because I don't know how you would end Final Fantasy VII's story in a way that's more epic and more awesome than the end of like Remake Part 3, right? Like Remake Part 3 should be like the ultimate end, the ultimate send-off to Final Fantasy VII, because I don't think there'll be like another opportunity to like really do it big. Careful, I heard Twitch could demonetize you if you multi-stream with another. Yeah, that's another thing too. I think if your partner, they may not allow you to do it. So that's another tedious thing. Maybe some studios should prioritize stylized graphics, but raise the scope of the game and its story, and it turned into a sort of epic. Yeah, I think that if you could sacrifice visual fidelity for like more expansiveness and more content and those sorts of things, then I would totally prefer it. it was clear, it was confirmed that FF7R was designed to be a continuation of the compilation, and it's clear they want this to be the finale. Right. If FF7R isn't the finale, I think that would take away and make FF7R like less impactful. So I would want it to be the finale because that would make the game better. How are you guys doing, NSP? Thank you for being such an awesome channel. You and content have always helped me through the grief of losing my dad. You're the best. Oh my God, Knock-Your-Roll, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm happy to know that my content could be some type of relief for you during such a difficult time. And thank you for supporting me. That means a lot to me. So I'm very touched by that, actually. Thank you. I think you can. I see some doing it with double live streams out of problem. Yeah, I know Blitz does it. But he's also an affiliate too. And I'm a partner on Twitch, so I don't know. Do you think Remake Part 3 will resolve Vincent's character arc so that Dirge is no longer necessary? I don't know. Because here's the thing that I'm thinking about, right? Is that like, I think that Dirge will be the Crisis Core reunion for Rebirth, if that makes sense. I think Dirge of Cerberus Redemption is going to be like the filler game between Part 2 and 3. Think about like what's happening, right? They're showing Advent Children before Rebirth comes out, right? Isn't that really interesting that they're showing Advent Children? I think that there's a reason. And I think the reason is that the ending of Part 2 will kind of be like maybe the reveal, the flat out reveal that like, yeah, this is actually kind of a sequel to Final Fantasy VII and not just a remake. I don't know if you guys are getting tickets for that. They're showing it at like all my local theaters. You'll be able to go watch Advent Children in theaters. So, you mean there are more than 3 years between Part 2 and 3? Well, I mean, between Remake and Rebirth, it was 3 years and 10 months. So I think it'll be like 2.5 years between Rebirth and Part 3, though, because I think they already have so many assets done and so much work done that they could probably not have it take as long. Genesis has to be the villain. I think I'd be ecstatic. No, I don't think Genesis will be the villain now. Because if you go back through Genesis's like character arc, I don't think Genesis was like a villain by the end of the story. I think Genesis kind of like found like his redemption, actually. No pun intended. But honestly, Genesis arguably was never like... Yeah, I think that I think they haven't shown Genesis off, and I don't think that Genesis is gonna like... I don't think Genesis is gonna show up as a villain. He might show up in some antagonistic way at first, but I think by the end, Genesis won't be a villain. Yeah, because Genesis was a victim of Shinra, right? Maybe even more so than Sephiroth, really. Genesis was redeemed through his encounter with Zack, and he escaped his degradation, right? Do you think they could use FF16 type icon battles for the weapon fights in Part 3? I don't know. The only thing that worries me about that is that the icon fights in Final Fantasy 16 seemed like they were so expensive and so time consuming that it was like most of the game's development. And they had to actually outsource some of those fights to teams like Platinum in order to be able to even make them work. So I don't know. Maybe is my answer. The Dirge of Cerberus cliffhanger won't go untied. Remake is the trilogy. Remake trilogy is the payoff. Right. It has to. It has to. I think if that like goes like without being acknowledged, it would suck, right? NSP, here's a fun thought. When we get the weapon fights in Remake, reckon they will use some of the mechanics from the trials in 14. I hope so. They were fun extremes. Now that's totally possible, yeah. Because I think raid mechanics actually transfer really well to action games for the most part. I can't lie, that Titan fight was worth it. The Titan fight was cool. Should Square make a Final Fantasy that has more role-playing elements where players have more impact on the story like Cyberpunk? First of all, thank you so much, Killer Cobalt, for the super chat. Oh man. So like most people in the chat will say no. I would say I wouldn't mind. I would say I'd like it, actually. I don't think it should be quite as open-ended, but I would love if you could change some things, or at least choose who you romance. Yeah, I would love that. But 99% of the people in the chat will say no. Refantazio with the very big no. I would like it, but no one else would. That's my answer. But that's also because I like Western RPGs and I like JRPGs, and I like I want more games that are kind of like an in-between, like a Western RPG and a JRPG. So my hair kind of falling. Need to refloof it. Yeah, so I would like it, but yeah, everyone else would hate it. Do I play Star Rail? I do not. I do not. Not being able to use summons what you want and not being able to see red material in your weapons also sucked. Yeah. When are you hopping on to Grand Blue is the real question. Soon. I didn't get into the early access, but I think I should have the game pretty soon. So you need whatever Cloud uses for his hair, yeah. I think Curing Sector Remake, it always got interrupted when you got hit, and you get hit a lot. Actually, I liked that it got interrupted when you got hit, right? Because it getting interrupted when you get hit is like, it then becomes a skill to like be able to cast your magic. So you have to be precise about when to cast it. And I actually kind of like that, because now it makes the game, like doing a basic thing like healing makes it more engaging. Like one thing I actually didn't like about 16's gameplay was that you could actually use potions at any time. Like Clive could like literally be knocked off on his butt and in the middle of the air, and you can literally mash potion. You could mash potion while taking damage. You can literally like potion tank through an attack. NSP's hair is best waifu, thank you. Yeah, it was like so instant. So I actually kind of prefer a remake system where when you do heal, you actually have to be skilled and know when to approach it and how to approach it. I think Cloud is gonna die in place of Aerith. Zack enters the scene trying to save them in time, only to be able to get Aerith. The final game goes the same as Final Fantasy 13. The hype is Cloud returning. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of interesting, right? Because Aerith has 2 bodies. I don't know if anyone's thought about that yet. We don't know if she has 2 consciousness. Like, does she have like a soul in the Terrier timeline and a soul in like the Beagleverse? And like the Aeriths are communicating through the live stream like a network? Or is it like literally like 2 different eras? Where do you find your music? This is all from Persona 4. Choice-based Final Fantasy could go in some directions, but if it's hyped up in such a fashion as Mass Effect, so our players' expectations are overinflated, it may be disastrous, right? Right. Because she has 2 physical bodies now, and also too, like with her having 2 bodies at the very least, we don't know if she has 2 souls or whether. Because remember, she's like in a coma basically in the Terrier timeline, so we don't even know if Aerith is she like astral projecting into the Beagleberries? So what is, I mean, with her having those 2 physical forms, what does that actually even mean for her death, right? Like, what is the actual implication of Aerith dying with that in mind? Yeah, there's also 2 Clouds as well, right? So if Cloud died, what would that mean for Cloud? Terrier versus Beagleverse. Yeah, I mean, what else do you call them? My theory is that both Aerith and Sephiroth possess the live stream at the end of the OG game, and their consciousness have been at war ever since. All right. I don't know. I'm still a big believer of. I think I've been saying this for like 4 years now. It's gonna end with the live stream sword, where Cloud will like have all the souls of the live stream go into the Buster Sword, and he'll Omni slash Sephiroth, and it'll be like Omni slash version 69, and that'll be like what destroys Sephiroth at the end. I don't know. So. That's like my best theory, right? I don't know. I'm only half joking, but it's just so hard to say. Maybe her death as she's casting Holy joins the 2 universes for Sephiroth to take over both. I mean, that's a good question, right? The biggest question to me with Final Fantasy VII right now is not what's going on with Zack. It's not if Aerith is gonna die. I think all those are like red herrings compared to like what the actual biggest mystery in the whole FF7 continuity may be right now. And that mystery is, why are there 2 universes? Or timelines, or pockets of existence, or whatever you wanna call it. Like, why do 2 of those exist? That's a really big question, right? And I don't think that there's a good answer for that right now. So that's probably my big question. Yeah, what exactly is Sephiroth's real plan? Yeah. Even beyond what Sephiroth's real plan is, I think the biggest mystery is why there's two universes. Or timelines, right? And what caused them to diverge, like actually. Because even like, if you think about it, the Zack universe existed before the Whispers, right? Like, because they showed him in the Whispers there, was that in the old timeline and then that timeline split off? Like, there's so many questions. The only thing I want them to succeed on is making Aerith hit as hard, even if you know it's coming. I think the best way to do that would be to make Zack watch somehow, just to have him be there. For me, that would make it corny. Like, I feel like that's over dramatic, personally speaking. Like, that would be like overdoing it, I feel like. So even then, I feel like that might be hit or miss. But you're not the only person, Refantazio, I've seen say that. So I guess for some people that would hit. For me though, I would just be like, I don't know. I would think I would personally find it kind of goofy. Like, if that's like, but I do think that they might do that. If Vice was the super boss of Remake, who would you make the super boss of Rebirth? Maybe Minerva in the Ruins of Brenora? I would make Genesis the super boss. Like, as like a VR thing. I think that'd be cool. If not Genesis, then Minerva. But that might just be Copium, because I wouldn't want him to show up in like the main story. I guess it depends on the writing. The reason I think it'd be corny is just because I feel like it would rob. It would just be so. The kind of like center point of like the original scene was, I felt like it was Cloud grieving, right? So I feel like it becomes weird if Zack just pops in and takes that place, right? I think that's why I find it like so strange. It could work, but if it was going to work, it would have to be Zack had been in the party for like a lengthy period of time and then it happened. But also too, you have Cloud like freaking out, right? Because Cloud almost kills her himself. So, but if you have Zack there and Cloud's also doing that, then you have like this weird moment where, I don't know, I guess you'd have like Zack and Cloud fighting. I don't know. Your favorite Persona game among the bunch? Probably still 5 Royal. I know that's like the terribly generic answer, but I think the characters are better in 4 though. I like P4's characters better. Yeah, Zack at the very, very end of anything, right? But see, then Zack at the end, I don't know. Because it's so weird, because if Zack's at the end, and he pops in during that death scene, and he just pops in to watch Aerith die, but then if he's just popping in to watch Aerith die, then everyone's like, yo, what the fuck? Why is Zack here? Zack's just hopping in, and like, oh, it's like, oh, okay. But then it robs the reunion of Cloud and Zack and Aerith, and you can't focus on that because you have to focus on the death, and then you can't. Which God of War is better than FF16? Most. If I'm honest, like, From like a combat and story perspective, most, but definitely 2018 and Ragnarok, I'd say, like in a direct way. And that's not to diss FF16. I just think that God of War is just like a caliber above. If Zack popped in to save Aerith, that'd be the only way it'd be interesting in Diverge. But see, I feel like if he does pop in and dramatically save her, that would be like... That would be... I feel like people would not like that. I feel like that's where the story very much lends itself to going. But I feel like if you realistically imagine that, like, in the progression of it, I feel like it would suck. Like, I don't know. Like, here. Can I... Let's see if I can... I'm just gonna do this goofy poll to test this. Nobody take this as legit data. Let's just see what happens. Oh god, okay. We have 79% now. We have as many people saying yes as we have undecided. Oh no, undecided is winning compared to yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very interesting results. We have 107 votes in. Okay, let's do that one. Let's end that poll. Okay, let's do... Oh, I don't know how YouTube reacts to that word. Well, let's see. Oh, we're afraid to that. We'll phrase it like this. Okay. This should be an interesting one. Oh my god, Sudi Thunder, thank you so much for the super chat. $10. Calling it now. It will appear the party saves Aerith. But after we seemingly stop Sephiroth, Cloud loses, now is stronger than OG, and is actually able to get Cloud to kill Aerith. That would be so traumatizing though. That would be so traumatizing for Cloud, right? Like, I don't even know, right? But it might make for better drama. right? Like it might make the stakes of the story even higher. But I don't know how people would necessarily react to it. Personally, I'm okay with it. Well, I don't know. Actually, I actually legitimately don't even know how I feel about that. Also, this poll result, guys, what the fuck? This is like the most undecided I've ever seen the chat, like, ever. Like, it's almost a three-way split. Like, it's barely any option is winning here. 36% of you currently say that he should witness the final scene. 41% of you say that no, he shouldn't. And 23% are undecided. Holy crap. Holy crap, guys. Holy crap. Aerith dies, but they leave a hint for resurrection in the third game. That's where my bet is. That's like what I currently believe, right? Because here's the thing to remember, guys, is that like Sephiroth has come back, Aerith has come back. If we're talking about like time travel here, if that's the case, then like, I don't know. And I think it's actually mentioned, is it mentioned in On the Way to a Smile? I want to say that someone said that Aerith could also, she has like the power to create her own remnants as well. She just chooses not to. Is there a lore head that can fact check that from On the Way to a Smile? Or maybe it wasn't in that one, it was in like one of the novels. I don't even know. It was something like that. What if the party has to kill Aerith because Sephiroth refuses? No. I think what you guys are coming up with is way darker than what's gonna happen. That would be dark. I don't think they'd do it either, right? Like, I don't know. Would you guys like kill a friend if you had to in order to like fix the timeline, like a loved one? I feel like you'd still be like, no, I'm not doing it, right? Like, especially like in a JRPG too, where everyone's gonna be like, oh, we need to defy our fates and all that stuff. It's confirmed in case of Livestream White. Okay, it's not on a way. Okay, yeah, in Livestream White, it's confirmed that Aerith can manifest her own remnants. Maybe that'll happen, right? Wouldn't it be interesting? Okay, you guys want like a super like crackpot theory? Like a super out there. What if like Aerith in the Terrierverse and Aerith in the Beagleverse are already like post OG Aerith's remnants? Nah, that's like like I said, that's just me out there, like that's just me like throwing a random ass thing out there. Sorry, I'm eating. If Sephiroth is all-knowing, including the OG events and his mistakes, wouldn't his plan be actually aiming to bait Cloud into saving Aerith, actually to kill him and let Aerith live? I mean, technically, hold on. Technically, if he's like an all-knowing Sephiroth that knows everything that happens in the original game, then why wouldn't he go for Tifa, really? Because Tifa is kind of the one who restores Cloud back to himself so that he can beat Sephiroth in the first place, right? But we all know that that's not going to happen. They would never do that. So I don't know. But that's what would make the most sense, right? Like, logically speaking, if he knew everything, that would be who'd go for, right? Because then Cloud would remain in a broken, malleable state without anyone to bring him out of it, right? But yeah, Tifa is also one of Sephiroth's foils. Because I think that both Aerith and Tifa are Sephiroth's foils in different ways. But in terms of like actually being able to manipulate Cloud, right? It just seems like, I don't know. I don't think that'll happen though. Like, they're not gonna do that. They didn't even commit to killing Biggs. So I don't see them committing to killing, you know, the most probably the most popular heroine in like the FF series. I don't see them committing to doing that. No. So I don't think that. Well, all right. Curious, why are you streaming on YouTube instead? Because I just want to see what would happen. I don't know if that's a very satisfactory answer, but I'm trying to shake things up from like what I usually do. And I figure that since I have like this big, you know, almost 100K follower channel, maybe what would happen if I streamed on that instead? I'm not like not streaming on YouTube. I mean, on Twitch anymore. That hasn't been decided. We're still working that out. Sephiroth tries to kill Tifa, but Aerith sacrifices herself to save her, throwing the spanner. No, I don't think anyone's gonna sacrifice themselves. I feel like that would be like really lame to me, like if someone sacrificed it. Daniel, thank you so much. Do you have to get some Pizza Hut for dinner? I'm gonna get some, I'm gonna warm up some lasagna, actually. Do you think Cisne could appear in the Zack timeline? Yes, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Yes. I do think that should happen. I think Cisne should appear in general, actually. Like if Zack gets a party of his own, Cisne should be like one of the characters that are in his party. His party should be Terrier Biggs, Cisne, and like, I don't know, but that should be his party. Those three, and then whoever the hell else. Cloud can't be, he's incapacitated. Aerith is incapacitated. So yeah, Biggs and Cisne should be Zack's party. The thing is, Tifa's necessary to break Cloud, but Cloud was about to dismiss the truth out of hand because it came from Sephiroth. It wasn't until he saw Tifa's reaction that he broke, right? Do you think that they're still going to go to space like in the OG game? I think they're going to touch on all those moments. I think that like part 3 though is where you're gonna see like a little bit more of the crazier stuff. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see something real quick. What the fuck? I want it. Okay, that's the chat. Okay. I'll expand this out in a second while we're waiting for it, but yeah. Don't worry, it won't stay cropped like this. And I won't stay super big like this. We'll fix it. I bet Sid doesn't smoke or treat women like dirt anymore. Not reading the rest of that. What could be the thing that will blow people's mind in the Aerith scene? She needs to live, otherwise no one is stable. That's the thing though, right? Is that like, what has to happen in that scene has to be something that no one's anticipating, right? Like, no one can call it. Like, that's the only way I'd be surprised, right? So that's why I think that like the jumping in and saving someone or anything like that, it has to be even outside of that. It has to be something that's like, whoa, I didn't even imagine that. Like, it has to be something that's like so out of the realm of what we're all thinking. Otherwise, I don't know. Like, if it's not out of the realm of like anything we're all thinking, then I don't know. I don't think it will be that surprising, right? He kills Aerith. Nah. I don't think it'll be something that's like more devastating though than the original game. I think it will only be equally as devastating, like in like a total loss sense, like in the collateral damage sense. It may be more devastating in like a dramatic sense, but like I don't think that like more people are going to die in this one than in the original game. Because if you look at Remake was very conservative with taking out characters, so hell, they didn't even commit to killing Marl. I thought for sure that Marl was gonna die in the game. What do you think they'll show about Rebirth today? I think we'll get a trailer, like the final trailer that spoils the ending of the game. I think that's what's coming. Will's Word, thank you so much for the super chat. Maybe it's something similar. Nah, not Creative Business Unit 1. Not CPU 1, not what these guys work on. Everything these guys work on, they... This team doesn't really do simple, I don't think. Like, you look at their work. Nomura, Nojima, Kitase, Toriyama. They are not simple. they like big, complex, intricate. It's not necessarily bad. I don't think either one of those is necessarily bad in a story. It just depends on the story and what you want to accomplish, so. Demo would be great. I think Remake had Remake had a wonderful demo. Remake had a wonderful demo. The bombing mission is great, right? Because it's not only something that you can take and make a demo out of because it's such a great vertical slice. It also has such great intrigue and hooks you into the rest of the story almost immediately. I feel like you can just put the bombing mission out and like people will gravitate toward the game. So bombing mission's great in that sense. Yeah, the thing about Zack dying instead of Aerith too is complicated because it's like, well, if Zack dies instead of Aerith, then it's like, did you bring Zack back just to have him be a sacrificial lamb for Aerith to not die? So that can also get into like really tedious territory. But I think they have a plan, and I think that plan is like nothing that we've like even predicted so far. I think that like this shit is like so out of the realm of anything we've been thinking about. Right? Because like if you think back to like the Arbiters of Fate and like all that stuff, like we weren't even thinking about any of that stuff before. But I mean, even when we saw it in like the press material for the game came out, like I wasn't thinking, oh, the Arbiters of Fate. This is like a remake sequel thing, right? Sephiroth's definitely time traveling or anything like that. Like no one thought about that type of stuff when we were first looking at it, and so I don't know if it's been stated, but you think they'll reuse a lot of the musical tracks or remake? To my understanding, they have a ton of new music prepared, so it's not just track reuse. So I don't think it'll be, but I do think that they may have. There'll probably be like a lot of classic tracks, but they'll also probably be reusing a lot of the classic tracks too. I don't think that when you look at how ambitious Remake the first game's OST was, that they would dial that back on Rebirth. Okay, guys, we're at 10 minutes right now. I'm going to pee really quickly. And then I'm going to come back and we'll be ready. I'll fix all this window configuration real quick and make it nice and clean. Okay, give me 1 second. Here's a chance to grab your popcorn and get fucking ready, boys, because we got Stellar Blade, we got Rise of the Ronin, we got 99% chance of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth showing up. It is going to be hype. Anyway, let me pee. Okay. A state of play time. Let's see. Oh, I still can't. Let me refresh it. They still haven't hit the live yet. I'll wait till it does live and then I'll do the theater mode. That way it'll be easier to space the thing out. And I'll resize it. Hopefully they'll do the countdown soon. If not, I'll just leave it. I'll just crop it into here. Where were we at? Original OST was... I did like the original OST a lot because I like the synthwave music. Like I think that there are some tracks that oh, you guys get to see how ghetto my chair is. My chair is really ghetto. So I had to like stuff like pillows here in the back. Because I've been having like a lot of back pain recently from my posture, having to sit so much from being a content creator. And then also it probably doesn't help that I lift. And so my back is like always being like fucked. And so yeah, my back is like but I have like this thing right here. My girlfriend got it for me. Like put it behind your back, your lower back when you're sitting. And it like helps like realign your back. Oh my God, it's amazing. Had back pain for a while. Fixed it right up. Pay777, thank you so much for the super chat. And SP has had some great commentary for years. Let's give this guy some likes and subs, chat. Thank you so much. Big face, appreciate it. You are the best. And I'm glad that people feel that way. Makes me happy. Makes me feel like I'm not just being a asshole on stream all the time or on content. That I'm actually providing some values. Have you ever gone to a chiropractor? I'd love to. Everyone subscribe so NSP can buy a new chair. yeah, I should. That's like the next thing, right? Because I got this camera. We crowdfunded this camera. Maybe the next thing is for me to crowdfund a new chair. That would be like that's gonna be like the next goal, is to be like, okay, we need subs for the chair. CBD lotion for back pain? Maybe. NSP, you do provide value. Good. I'm glad. Because sometimes I don't know. I'm like, I wonder if I'm just a guy who talks and is kind of annoying. You're going to London, right? Yes, I'm going to London. So if any of you are near the London area and you want to meet me in person, there is going to be an opportunity for you to do that exact thing. I'm going to be at the pub event for Final Fantasy Union. This is actually going to be the first time I get to meet Daryl in real life, so I'm actually like really excited about that, because me and Daryl from Final Fantasy Union have been good friends for a while, and so yeah. By the way, I'll give a quick shout out to my friend here, the Hylian, who has put out an amazing video here, 2 hours long. If you love Smash Bros and Final Fantasy VII, he has like this entire documentary called A Living Legacy Encore. Highly recommend checking it out. I think I can place a link here in the comments. I think I can link that. So yeah, save that for later if you want to. It's a really good video series. He also has done a really, it's all part of this big series. The first part of A Living Legacy here is something that I promoted before in the past, and it is like the most ambitious Final Fantasy VII documentary ever made. Sudi Thunder, I just saw your super chat. Thank you so much. My theory for Zack's party is Cisne, Biggs, Sonon, Dine, and Zang. That'd be awesome, right? I feel like Zack's party is even cooler. That would be super cool. Like, if that's his party, that would be awesome. Like, I'd like that. But I don't know if he'd get a full party. I would assume that he'd only get like 3 members. Because then Zack would be like his own game at that point. Like if he got like a full party. I don't know. Okay, boys. We're 3 minutes out. 3 minutes out. Let's go. Let's go, chat. Oh, shit. I'm nervous. The chat for the actual chat for the chat for the live stream is going crazy. Some of the games I see, some people are saying GTA 6. I see Spider-Man 10. Sonic is one that I've seen like 10 times. Someone said The Legend of Mario. Kingdom Hearts 4, not happening. 2 Ghost Tsushima. That's not impossible. Bloodborne 2. That's impossible. That's impossible. Lots of Bloodborne too. Not happening. Elden Ring DLC, that's possible. Rocksteady filing for bankruptcy. That was in the chat. Stellar cheeks today, yes. 60 seconds. Hold on to your ass, boy. Hold on, we're going in. Tournament, thank you so much for the super chat. Hoping for Little Devil Inside. Wait, has that... I don't think I've heard of that. What kind of game is that, actually? I don't know. Full screen mode now, no more chatting. We're locked in. Premiere will begin shortly. I'm gonna refresh it just in case. I know it doesn't do anything. Okay. I'm gonna shrink myself just a little bit. I'm gonna hide the alert box. I'll still see any super chats or anything on the side here, but just so that doesn't disrupt the audio. I'm nervous. It always gets like this, like right before the show starts. Right before the show starts, I'm always like this. New Deathloop trailer. Oh my god. Okay. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Hold on, let me adjust so that this is better resolution. Let me see. This way, more pixels are being used. This. There we go. Boys, ladies and gentlemen, fuck. Are you into Silent Hill 2? Silent Hill 2 is actually one of those weird games where I never actually played it, but I've seen 100 essays on it. So I know like everything about it, but I've never actually like sat and played it. So it's very weird, but it's like one of those games that like, yeah. I feel like the remake will suck though. Tournament, thank you so much for the sub. For the super chat. Ape Escape remasters? That would go crazy, dude. No sound? Oh shit. There we go. Okay. I would love Ape Escape remasters, dude. Is this? Okay, that sounds like copyrighted music. That sounds like copyrighted music. And we're on YouTube too, so. What game is this even? It's VR stuff? Okay. No one minds that I muted this one, right? I don't think anyone cares about the mute on this one. Increase audio. Oh, yeah, for sure. Tournament, thank you for another super chat. Imagine Gravity Rush 3. Rest in peace. I wish, but no.
Hi everyone, I'm Herman Hulst, head of PlayStation Studios, and I'm honored to present the first State of Play of 2024. The first 3 years of PS5 have given us incredible stories, immersive worlds, and groundbreaking gameplay from PlayStation Studios and our partners. We've also expanded PlayStation Plus with new features including PS5 game streaming. And with PSVR 2 and PlayStation Portal, which released last November, we're committed to offering new and surprising ways for our audience to interact with their PS5. But none of this means anything without great games, like Helldivers 2, which kicks off a year of amazing experiences and diverse ways to play. Today, we're looking ahead to titles coming later this year and beyond, with extended gameplay and announcements we hope you find as exciting as we do here at PlayStation. Enjoy the show.
Okay. Stellar Blade, let's go! Wow. Oh god, dude, it looks so good. It looks so good, man.
Welcome to the world of Stellar Blade. The story begins on post-apocalyptic Earth, where a mysterious enemy called the Tifa has forced the human race to flee to an off-world colony.
Wow, man.
Players will take control of Eve, a member of the 7th Airborne Squad. Her mission is to save the planet by defeating the Elder Tifa.
All the costumes look really good. Wow.
All we must do is complete the mission. While most of the 7th Airborne Squad
She's British?
is lost during their descent from the colony, Eve soon meets 2 new companions. Adam, born on Earth, is in pursuit of an energy source called hypersol.
Make sure to stay cautious. It's where the Alpha Tifa is.
So this must be Adolf 7.
Lily, a member of the 5th Airborne Squad, provides engineering support.
Lily Artemis II.
The graphics, bro.
I can be your engineering support.
She puts her technical knowledge to use by upgrading Eve's equipment throughout the game.
Xenoblade pills, bro.
Here, done.
Something does feel different.
I did not in a million years expect them to use British acting on this game.
This is Zion, a city built underneath the wasteland, but the
like
last
it, though.
human survivors on Earth.
A whole city underneath the wasteland.
Eve is called Angel by the survivors and is an object of both awe and fear.
I'm not selling anything to you.
They'll seem a bit wary at first, but will gradually loosen up as Eve shows a commitment to rebuilding the city.
Hello, Angel. How are you?
I see we have guests.
Wow, this looks so good, man.
Angel is here.
The survivors will sometimes ask Eve for help.
Please save my younger sister!
Wait right here.
Their
I'm
requests
blown
will
away.
often lead her to the wasteland and the Great Desert.
I expected good things from this game, but this is even better than
This place has been overrun by
what I was
mutants
imagining, really.
and malfunctioning machines and robots.
Yeah, the music is incredible.
A supply camp in a place like this.
You'll occasionally find supply stations set up by previous airborne squads. At each camp, Eve can purchase various consumable items, acquire new skills,
Oh
upgrade
my god,
equipment,
man.
and
Oh
more.
my god.
She can also take a well-deserved break to restore her health.
Peak.
Eve will often encounter people in need.
All the
and
costumes
other
are really good,
human
too.
beings who may need her help.
Request your assistance.
Whether to assist or ignore them is entirely up to the player. On her journey to defeat the Elder Tifa, Eve will sometimes encounter hostile survivors. Or
Yo! What is that?
something worse.
Eve, what are you going to do after you defeat the Alpha Tifa?
All airborne squad members exist for one sole purpose.
You mean the extinction of all Nativas, right? To think that the point of your existence is to snuff out another species.
My
It is
God,
not
man.
an easy fight.
It's fine. I can do this alone.
It won't be easy.
The voice acting is
That's
peak,
the
man.
official name for members of the Eve Airborne Squad.
I can feel the hatred, but I cannot feel the source.
I will find
The
it.
music is
and I
peak.
will make it pay.
Opening! It's windy!
No more lies to blind my eyes. Choose what you lose.
It's a collapse!
And now take up the
Drone is different.
This is no longer the drone you knew.
Man, man.
so close to
Peak.
the goal, headed to light that I will hold. Now it's time to gather what's lost. Show me how to fall down.
Man.
Shine bright. Wherever you go,
Let's go.
so that we can take on the
Day one.
I'll keep through all
Day one.
time.
Oh, you already know, man. Day one. Oh, April 26th? No way. April? This April 26th? No. No.
안녕하세요. 십텁의 대표이자
What?
게임의 디렉터인 김영태입니다.
It's
이
coming out in
게임은
2
우리가
months.
수년간 유저 여러분들께 선보이기 위해 꿈꿔왔던 게임이며 플레이스테이션 5 그리고 플레이스테이션 스튜디오의 전폭적인 지원 덕분에 그 꿈을 현실화할 수 있게 되었습니다. 기나긴 여정이었고 빨리 팬분들이 4월 26일 스텔라 블레이드를
April
만나보시기를
26th. Bro, it's coming in 2 months. What? Fidel, where you at, bro? Where's Fidel at right now? Oh, Shadow? Is this Generations 2? Oh! Oh, it is! Shadow generate. What? That's cool. Holy crap. That's awesome. That's like the most hype for like a Sonic game I've been in a while. I saw Shadow and I was like, Game of the year! Game of the year! Foamstars! You already know, boys. Oh, this is... Is this like David the Ivor DLC? Because isn't that already... Nani got cooted. Godzilla DLC? Okay. Cool. What is this? Diablo 5. Nah.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Benson. This next game is a result of a very close partnership with Konami and marks the return of a horror
Metal
franchise
Gear?
that has been with us
Silent
since
Hill.
the original PlayStation.
Oh!
Let's take a look at what's next for Silent Hill.
Oh! Is this Silent Hill 2? 2 Silent 2 Hill? The remake?
Maybe I can be like her.
Bad things happen because of you!
Here goes. Is this a dream? Who's there?
Oh, first person.
What's with this place? Cherry blossoms bloom.
Yeah, this is the new Silent Hill, right?
Last of death. What are you hiding inside? Maya? What the fuck?
That's what I'm asking.
I'm sorry. Stop! Please! What did I do to deserve this?
Okay.
こんにちは。サイレントヒルシリーズのプロデューサーを務める岡本元井です。
I don't know.
ご覧いただいたのはサイレントヒルザ・ショートメッセージという全く新しいサイレントヒルとなります。本作は本日この後プレイステーション5で無料配信いたします。
Oh.
コナミが送る現代を舞台にしたサイコロジカルホラーをぜひ体験してください。それでは最後にこちらの映像をご覧ください。
Yeah, what? Dead? Wait. Wait. Silent Hill 2 Remake? Silent Hill 2! The fog looks really good. It looks good. It looks pretty good. I have no complaints.
What if I told you that every word you say is being recorded? Every thought you've ever had? Your love. Your fear. Your hate. We're just planted in your brain like weeds in a garden. What would you do to free yourself? We both know the answer to that question.
It does look very RE4 though, right? Like it does look really RE4.
In a pot, boiling so slowly. You don't even know what's happening. But I'm here to set you free. Whether you like it or not.
I don't know if that's copyrighted or not. So we're just gonna mute that. Actually, let me like mute it here. I don't think it's copyrighted actually. Fix what you broke. What is this? Vertigo Games.
Stare into the flame. Think of this fire as a beacon. Its warmth, its energy.
Yeah, I'll play the Silent Hill short message. Yeah.
Now, focus your mind on your wife and step into the void.
The way he fell over and just hit the thing was so funny. It's so hard to advertise VR games because, you know, you can only really tell how fun that stuff is until you're like actually playing it. I feel like a trailer can't really sell it that well. Sephiroth. No.
I knew you would come.
I was close. Oh, Dragon's Dogma 2.
I make no mistake. The dragon will appear before you when the time is come.
Oh! Peak, I'm afraid.
We're under attack! Look here, beast! Come and face me!
Game of the year? Game of the year? Is that you?
Watch out!
Oh, Game of the Year, is that you?
You truly are formidable, Arisen.
Is that the goatee?
Make manifest your will. That's at last this world might.
Oh my God.
Hold fast to your strength of will, Arisen.
I'm sorry,
Those
gentlemen,
who
we've
believe
entered
they
peak.
will reveal themselves.
We've
in
entered
time.
peak.
Thy will, thy soul, these are all the means thou hast to carve
Oh my God,
thy
man.
path anew.
Two.
Yet your wicked schemes will avail you not, watching one.
God. March, bro. It's going down. I love Dragon's Dogma. I love the first one. Yeah, it's so cool.
チーム忍者の安田です。ライズ・オブ・ザ・ローニンは自由な探索や
Rise of
幅
the
広い戦闘
Ronin
を体験できるオープンワールドアクション RPG です。歴史上の人物たちと紡ぐ因縁によって物語が変化していきますので、ぜひ一人の浪人として皆様それぞれの幕末を体験してください。オープンワールドで描かれる幕末の世界をお楽しみください。
Let's go. Show me the footage, bro. Show me the peak.
「本作の舞台の一つ横浜です。19世紀幕末の時代、最初に国外に開かれた横浜では和と洋が入り混じった独特の街並みが広がっています。
Sekiro 2. Let's
主人公は
go.
鍵縄を使って屋根の上に登ったり、装置アビキルを使って高所から滑空し上空を移動することも可能です。
Oh my God, that was clean, dude. The way he landed on the
攻
horse.
撃やガードを駆使しながら敵の攻撃を石火で弾いて体勢を崩すことも可能です。敵の武器と相性のいい流派を選ぶと戦いを有利に進めることができます。
Oh my God, dude. It really does remind me of Sekiro, and I'm saying that in like a very positive way. The way you use the grappling hook, some of the combat stuff.
戦闘では日本刀や長槍以外にも
Oh my
海外
god,
からもたら
gentlemen.
された単銃など様々な武器が使用できます。
Oh my god.
発明家である伊賀七と因縁を深めると様々なからくり装置を入手できます。取火砲は伊賀七が作ったからくりで現代の火炎放射器のような強力な遠隔武器です。
A flamethrower, man.
取火砲や和洋折衷のアクションである銃剣など西洋の技術を生かした武器をうま
Oh,
く
there's
活用
Western
すれば
technology too?
強敵にも打ち勝つことができるのでぜひマスターしてください。幕末を生きる人物たちと紡いだ因縁が物語に大きく影響します。ぜひ
Oh my god,
ライズ・オブ・
dude.
ザ・ローニンで一人の浪人として運命を切り開いてください。
Yo! They get it. They get it. Oh my god, dude. You're handing out lots of peaks today? I'm sorry. There's lots of peak today. Look at this. Dude, this... Yes. Dude, this went from a game I was kind of excited about to like one of my most anticipated games of the year now. My god, dude. The first quarter of this year is so loaded. PlayStation Studios.
What did you do? Just messing around, man. That wasn't serious. Such an idiot.
Same date as Dragon's Dogma 2? No! Oh my god, you're right.
There are a few things I need to make sure you understand.
I'll give you 10 seconds.
No, please! No!
The past is beyond our control. You have to accept this in order to move forward.
It was just a prank, man.
Everything you do, every decision you make from now on will open doors to the future.
The choice is yours.
I want you to remember this. I want you to remember this as you play your game.
Sam. Looking for me?
Okay. Oh, is this Death Stranding? Yeah, it is. I still gotta play the first one. This is the best state of play I think I've seen so far. Dude, this is a good state of play. This is a good state of play. Like, this is the state of play that Sony has been needing. A Hideo Kojima game.
Welcome to Drawbridge, Sam, and to the GHV Magellan, our mobile base of operations. Come on, I'll help you get your bearings. This is the ship's armory. Here you can check your weapons and put them through their paces. These rooms over here belong to other members of the crew. They're pretty much the same as yours. And the shower's down at the end.
This is one hell of a ship you got here. Courtesy of the UCA, I'm guessing.
No. As I told you, Drawbridge is a civilian outfit.
Yeah,
But
why
we
are
do
they
have a
blue?
generous patron with access to plenty of capital and tech.
Sounds like a UCA big shot.
Don't ask me. We've never met face to face. They value their privacy.
Seriously? No better than to believe that bullshit.
It's the same deal as America. The people here are all spread out, cut off from one another. We want you to help us bring the world together.
Yeah, I'm gonna play. I actually own DS1.
Sam, would you mind if I join you?
Haven't played it yet.
Humor him. His knowledge and experience will probably come in handy down the road.
Yes.
And now they're back in color, right?
Really, Sam?
Like, what's going on?
Your buttocks? What about shotgun? I prefer the driver's seat.
Sam, do you read me? You'll first need to access the Mexico side plate gate terminal. After we've confirmed network coverage, we can take the DHV Magellan and regroup at your position.
The problem is, not everybody wants to be part of the UCA.
That's not the plan, Sam. The UCA isn't looking to expand its borders. Just like with Mexico, they want to bring new regions into the network. Anyway, the DHV Magellan's here to back you up. As always, you'll be the one leading the way to expand the network.
What's your role in all this? You're the commander, huh?
That's right. These days I'm fragile in name only. You brought America
All the visuals
together.
look so good. That water
Helped
is
it
pretty
be reborn
incredible.
As the UCA.
Or mud.
But I'm afraid the death stranding is far from over.
Oh,
Humanity is
Jesus.
still in danger. Still on the brink of extinction. Don't act like you don't see it.
Wow.
A lot of things changed after you went off on your own. Especially
Visually,
within the
this game
UCA.
is so stunning, bro.
Bridges no longer oversees the distribution network. They withdrew once things were up and running. So your friends and co-workers all went their separate ways. Within network coverage, there's no need to rely on human porters anymore. So after I closed up shop, I went and started a new group. One that handles work in regions outside the UCA. We decided to call ourselves Drawbridge.
With the support of the Chiral Network and APAS, humanity will be free from the need to move around.
Also, I love that Sony has been showing gameplay of like every game, right? For all these games. Like, there hasn't really been too many, like, oh, this is a cinematic trailer.
He said he came back to get revenge on you and me.
Hey, brother.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I figured you'd pay this place a visit, seeing as how I've been distributing the fruits of this fine factory all over the continent. Guns and violence, the whole damn world could be yours. Same as it ever was. Oh. Looks like you decided to trade in that rope for a stick this go-round. Well, I suppose even a porter has to pull the trigger from time to time. Oh, what about you? Hey, buddy. Are you just another soulless little husk? Huh?
This scene feels more Metal Gear than anything, right?
Pathetic.
Oh, is that Troy? You're
Where's
right.
the rest of your band?
Well, ain't that something? Was it you, Higgs? Huh? Was it you that killed Lou? You still don't know, do you?
This is so Metal Gear. Yeah, this game looks more interesting than the first Death Stranding to me.
Something he said. You don't know a goddamn thing about Lou.
All right, Sam. Let's see what we can find on Lou.
If you want answers, you're gonna have to find them yourself. But the ones you do find, well, that pain you nurse will only get worse. Sam the man in the dark about everything.
Don't forget, coming on this expedition was meant
I'm
to
playing
help you
Death
find the
Stranding
strength
1.
to carry on.
Official announcement. Official
Oh,
announcement.
you've got this. Now it's time to finish the journey, Sam. Please understand, Sam. We never meant
The
to string
face
you along.
animations are so good, man.
That chrysalis, we found her inside.
So
it was filled
good.
with a fluid that contained amino acids. One's identical in structure to the kind found in tar.
I'm sorry, there are amino acids in tar? As in proteins?
Of course. How else did you think that chiral creatures could emerge from it? Some have even theorized that the tar is a sort of primordial soup.
I was there. I saw her home. It was a hellhole.
You see, after you left Bridges, I decided to do a little digging. Now, according to them, BB-28 was flagged for disposal and subsequently incinerated 4 years ago, long before you and Lou first met.
Yeah, they said this was supposed to be a 40-minute state of play. So I think we only have one more trailer after this, and I guarantee you it's Rebirth. Kojima's gonna speak after this, I'm 90% sure.
And now here with me today is visionary game creator and founder of Kojima Productions, Kojima-san.
Yep.
Hi. Welcome. Today, I'm excited to announce that together, as part of the PlayStation and Kojima Productions partnership, Hideo is going to take us on an exciting new adventure. One that I've been encouraging him to reinvent for years.
はい、全く新しいオリジナルの IP になります。新世代のアクションエスペオナージゲームです。準備は始めてますけども、デストランディング2の後に本格的に小島プロダクションで制作にかかります。ソニーさんとは、ほぼ30年にわたりエスペオナージものを一緒に育ててきたという強い経験もあります。またソニーさんは、ゲームだけではなく音楽も映画もされています。間違いなく強力なコラボレーションになるはずです。さらに2年後には僕の、ゲーム制作人生の40周年を迎えます。このタイトルが、僕の集大成の作品になると確信をしています。
A new action espionage
that's exciting.
game by Hideo Kojima. This is one of my favorite genres, one that I've been hoping you
So
would
it is a
revisit
Metal Gear
with a
game.
bold new vision. Can you share anything else about this new development?
ですね、まだ詳しくは言えませんけども、最先端のテクノロジーと、世界中の才能を集結して作る予定です。もちろんインタラクティブなゲームなんですけども、ルック、物語、テーマ、キャスト、演技、ファッション、サウンド、どれをとっても、同時に映画でもあるようなものです。本作で、映画とゲームの壁を越えたいと思っています。
We're all really excited about this project, and we will fully support you with the latest
Yeah, that's
innovations
exciting.
Sony has to offer. More details to come.
Stay tuned.
Is that it? Wait, no. No. That's not it.
Before we go, I have one final announcement.
You have Rebirth. You have Rebirth.
State of Play will return February 6th with an extensive look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh, a Rebirth
Square
focus.
Enix will be sharing new gameplay details, along with exciting news you won't want to miss. We hope you enjoyed the show. See you soon.
Oh! Oh, man. Sorry, FF7 fans. Not today. February 6th, though, is not that far away. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, FF7 fans, sorry. But hey, we're getting an entire Rebirth focused state of play, and I guarantee you the demo is dropping. I guarantee you the demo is dropping next week on that day. Like it's on, like there's no way it's not, dude. There's no way it's not. That's on a Tuesday. Yeah, the demo is probably shadow dropping after that event. Which is good, because thank God, because I leave for London on the 8th. So that'll give me time to make the video, cover it. Wow. Why every time I watch Kojima game trailers, I end up feeling like throwing up at a headache? I don't know. I like it. Okay, now let's we got to go back to this. We got to go back and look at Peak really quickly here. I need to get another good look at this game. Wow. Okay. So I have been covering Stellar Blade since it was... Oh, my camera froze. Hold on. My camera froze. Give me 1 second. I'll be back. Wait for it. Okay, I unfroze. Yeah, that happens every now and then. Let me start over here. And yeah. 1 second. This game, guys. I've been covering Stellar Blade since it was first known as Project Eve. This game is said to be inspired by Nier Automata. It's being made by Shift Up, and it just looks so good, dude. Like, the visuals have gone through a lot of changes. Like, if you go back and look at this game when it was first announced versus the way it looks here, this is like really stunning. And this scene right here, actually, like, let me go back for a second. This scene right here has been in the game. This one right here, I believe, since like the very first like announcement trailer. So whatever is happening here is an incredibly important scene. Incredibly important. Again, this has also been like a long-standing scene as well. We're getting a good look at combat here. Combat looks really good. It's really hard to say like what the combat in this game is going to look like. Now, in particular with her face, they have redone her face multiple times. The last time they redid her face, it did not look as good as it does now. Like, this looks like a finished game. Maybe not this frame. If we go back a couple of frames, yeah, there we go. Her face looks good. They finally got it right. They tweaked her face like multiple times. This is like the third or fourth time that they've changed it, but I feel like they finally got it right. And this is what I assume is the final look for her face. I agree. This game stole the show. Like, the game that I'm going to be thinking about after this state of play for the next few months until it releases is going to be this one. Like, no question, no doubt about it. I feel like the characters, again, all the faces, they look so good. All the character designs look really good. And I just didn't expect him to be British. I didn't. Like, that's cool. I love it. I love British voice acting.
Member of the 5th Airborne Squad provides engineering support.
Lily Artemis II. Then I can be your engineering support.
She puts her technical knowledge to use by upgrading Eve's equipment throughout the game.
Here, done.
Something does feel different.
Yeah, also love that Eve has like this very Bayonetta sounding, like, you know. she seems a little bit more Bayonetta to me in some ways than 2B. Good thing. I mean, I like both. So yeah, the music, the art, everything about it, just incredible. Wow. Okay. Also love that there are numerous costumes in this game too that you'll be able to use for Eve. That's awesome. Like, I love her default outfit, but some of these other outfits that they have in the game are really cute. I feel like they're really nice. Also, I like that there is like a shooting mechanic too, right? That you have guns and you pull into like that third person perspective and you shoot. Let me go back real quick. This outfit right here is really cool. I like that one a lot. Don's gonna go, is there cooking in this game? There's definitely crafting. And then the skill tree here, the design of the skill tree is really cool. This costume is pretty insane. I think a lot of people are going to be big fans of this one. It's also really interesting to see Japanese text, considering this is a Korean game. Or at least that looks like Seiko, which means like success. Excuse my terrible English accent when I said that. It could just be the font. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but it looks like it says that. Are the costumes a plot thing, or can you switch cosmetics anytime? I'm 90% sure you can switch cosmetics anytime. Like, I can't imagine some of these outfits being a plot thing, depending on how you define plot. You can also, and then this is also really interesting too, if we go back a few frames, you can notice that it looks like you can also change your hairstyle too. So there's a couple of different hairstyles that you can get for Eve as well. That's pretty cool. I do kind of love the character customization here, because normally, I mean, you know, obviously if you have a game that has fixed character designs, you have customization, but it's rare that, like, it's getting increasingly rare that, like, you know, your fixed character design has like all these different costumes in the game. In this game, you got different hairstyles, different costumes you can wear. I love that you can actually kind of like customize Eve the way you want to. Now, the kind of bigger question I have is if some of these costumes actually impact your stats, or if they're just, you know, costumes. Like, is it like equipment, or is it just aesthetic? I'm willing to bet that it's just aesthetic. Fuck, man. Oh.
Fight.
It's fine. I can do this alone.
It won't be easy.
Angel. That's the unofficial name for members of the Eve Airborne Squad.
So you go back here. Again, here is yet another costume and a different hairstyle that you can use for her. So there's a lot of different customization that you can do with Eve. That's awesome.
I can feel the hatred, but I cannot feel the source.
I will find it, and I will make it pay.
Open it. It's windy.
No more lies to blind my
I feel like the character models are just really nice. Like when we were having a discussion earlier about Final Fantasy being like a little stylized, a little bit more stylized, I feel like these characters are also like a little stylized too, but also not like necessarily anime or realistic either. I like it. They're almost like doll-like too. That girl, this girl in particular, calling it right now. Hold on. Calling it right now. We can go back. This girl is going to be an antagonist rival character, because it looks like she is, right? Like we have some frames back here where she's kind of shown fighting Eve, but I don't know. Something about her design leads me to believe that she's not going to be evil or anything like that. She's going to be presented kind of as an antagonist at first, but I think she's definitely going to be more of a rival than anything else. She's going to be your Shadow the Hedgehog, your A2, your Vegeta. That's my prediction. Game of the show. Between this and Rise of the Ronin, man. Between this and Rise of the Ronin, for me, man. It's peak. It's peak. And then we got this guy, man. That sucked near Rebirth. Dude, we're getting a whole state of play on Rebirth later. Yeah. But in the meantime, we got all of these incredible games like Rise of the Ronin and Stellar Blade are more than enough for me. I'm about as excited for those as I would be for like a Final Fantasy title personally. Like looking at this game, the way it takes some things from Sekiro and then it does all this other stuff too. The way combat looks, the way you drop down in on that horse. I mean, dude. It's just peak. It's just peak, man. The way that Perry looks and then the way he goes in, dude, it's just... Oh my god, dude. Yes. Yes, the combat looks so good in this. The whole trailer gave me major Blue-Eyed Samurai vibes. I agree. No, I'm a big fan of Blue-Eyed Samurai. I love Blue-Eyed Samurai. That's like one of my favorite animes right now. I don't know if you want to technically call it anime because it technically come from Japan. But if you haven't seen Blue-Eyed Samurai, yeah, for sure. And yeah, dude, I don't know. This is kind of where I want Final Fantasy 17 to go, right? Reject modernity and embrace some tradition, but not like medieval Europe tradition, like Japan tradition. You know what I'm saying? And the flamethrower. This is like the coolest part, by the way, right? That they have Western weapons. And I wonder if they're also really going to explore that in the story too. That you're going to have, Eastern weapons and Western weapons, and you're going to have them both in one battle system, and maybe even the perception some characters have about the Western weapons, the guns, swords. It's just peak, dude. It's just peak. My main hook for this game is the movement. It looks incredibly fluid. It does look incredibly fluid. Like the way everything is just like the animations, right? Like, I mean, this is 60 frames per second. Like this is a clean 60 frames per second. God, is a clean 60 frame. And I mean, and it doesn't slow the game down either. It just looks, I mean, not literally, it keeps visually consistent throughout all of that. Like, it doesn't look like they had to compromise much to get this game running in 60 frames. Because it still looks visually stunning to me. Character designs, the way the faces are. I'm in, man. I'm so in. I love the paraglider too. What a great idea. The way he's hookshotting here between the fireworks going on, dude. It's just peak. It's just peak. All right, guys. I think we're gonna call the stream right there. I don't think you can raid on. Can you raid on YouTube? I don't think you can. I don't think there's like a raid command or anything like that. Can I do that? That doesn't work. That doesn't work. I don't think there's a way to do it, but that's okay. We'll just end the stream here. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed the stream and you're not already a follower, subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. And I don't know if we're going to continue to do these on Twitch or on YouTube, but I'll keep you guys updated. I enjoyed doing it on YouTube. All right, love you guys so much, and I'll see you all when Persona 3 Reload launches, because we'll